Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's finally time. The final movie for this Halloween, The Exorcist. Okay, so yeah, I don't think I need to go into plot about this one because I think you probably have seen this one, or at least heard of this one. It's a girl who's being possessed by a demon. And well, it's in the title. They're trying to exorcise. So you use an exorcism to get it out of her. Though that's not really what the movie is all about, because that's one of the things that really kind of was a problem with me for the movie. It took a bit long for the movie to really, get to the main plot. There was a bit too much time with that prequel, or prelude, or whatever you want to call it, where the priest who ended up doing the exorcism started going back and started driving around with going around down in Iraq, doing archaeological digs, and then there was a lot of things with the family, with the Reagan's family, and until she finds. It's not and the sentences kind of come straight out of nowhere. Yeah. Also, it's a bit. Also, this might be a personal thing, but sitting there and having to listen to Bible verses for sitting there and having to listen to Bible verses for a good 10-15 minutes. When you're an atheist, it's not exactly something that's interesting to listen to, because a lot of what you hear you consider to be bullshit. Granted, it's a movie, so a lot of what you see is completely made up, but I don't know. I think it's more the fact that they're just telling me all these Bible verses and all that, and I gotten enough of that when I was a kid, so yeah. But that's a lot of personal things. What about the movie itself? Do I think that's any good? Yeah, it's a pretty good one. Granted, it relies on a lot of shock humor. Like, when the psychiatrist is working on Reagan, she goes into this trance where she starts getting more and more angry, and then she turns into that monkey face. That's what I call it. It's some kind of demon face that shows up throughout the movie, but it kind of looks like a monkey, like the face of a monkey. So that's kind of what I call it, turning it into the monkey face. Honestly, the more scary face is when she's all bruised up and all that. There's also and there's two other scenes that will also shock you. The other is when they have Reagan just run down with that spider walk and then bleed from the mouth. That's only for a few seconds, and then it's just kind of forgotten about. And then there's a moment where Karras is asking for his mother's middle name. You think maybe she's gonna say it just to spook him a little bit, but suddenly it's flies straight out the window and she just spits some kind of puke liquid, I don't know, something in his face. Okay. There's also something else that I don't like about the movie. And I get it, but at the same time, it's kind of irritating. Because here's the thing: I'm okay with blood. I'm okay with killing people in a movie and all that. That's fine. But there are two things I just can't deal with in movies, and one of them is, well, doctor scenes, particularly with needles and such. It's just, it makes me uncomfortable. Also, all these kinds of doctors scenes, like, those are the kinds of things that I don't like seeing in movies at all. I don't know. It makes me. I guess it makes it seem too real. And in a movie about exorcism, that is not exactly what you want to see. As for as for acting wise, pretty good. Good. You got a lot of interest. By the way, this movie really surprised me about something, though it took me a while to realize it. There's a detective in this movie, and it took me a while to realize that he's played by the same guy who played juror number 3 in 12 Angry Men. And to be honest, he probably does the best acting job of all of them. Though this is getting into a bit of spoiler territory, so if you don't want to get spoiled, there's something that kind of bugged me about the movie. They spent all this time going through all these Bible verses over and over and over again at the end of the movie to try to get to exorcise this demon out of her. It doesn't work. The priest who's doing the exorcism gets killed. I mean, I know there's some people think that maybe he got a heart attack, but honestly, when the demon is sitting there giggling after he died, come on, do you honestly think he wasn't killed? Some way? It's a demon. He can do whatever he wants. And then what is done to get the demon out of her is just that Karis, attacks her and asks him to come into his body. That confused me. It's like they spent all this time trying to get this demon out of her, and all it took was just some guy saying, well, come into my body instead. That's all it took, huh? That's it. That's all it took. And then, yeah, that confused me. I'm not sure I like it. But I can praise a few other things about the movie. For one thing, I think the soundtrack works for what for the atmosphere that it's trying to convey. A lot of the coloring schemes work too, and I'm really one thing I really liked was the effect in the room when it turns ice cold, all the fog and all that. It was bloody brilliant. I'm still a bit shaky from everything. Reagan's voice. I mean, the main actor, actress Linda Blair. She does a decent enough job, and all that. But the voice work that's done with the demon, that's some good demon voice. That's a very good demon voice right there. So yeah. Also, like I said in that scene with the whole therapist when she turns to the monkey face, the way it turns is actually pretty good. When it slowly builds and then all of a sudden switches like that. It's a nice little build-up. It's coming out of nowhere, but you're expecting something, but you don't know how fast it's gonna come. You don't know how it's gonna come. I'm really liking that. As for the story, it's a pretty decent thing to go for. And it definitely builds atmosphere throughout the movie, because it builds and builds and builds until it is full-on demon. So yeah. So what can I say about this movie, really? Is it great? I'm not sure, really. It kind of depends a little bit. It's like scenery-wise, atmospheric-wise, and probably acting-wise, it's pretty good. Story and character-wise, it's half and half for me. It's just none of the characters were really all. Actually, one thing, the mother, great work, great acting. I don't know the name of the actress, but that was great on her part. I must say, she genuinely made me feel that she wanted to do anything for her daughter, anything. So that is brilliant stuff. There are a few things I felt maybe they could have cut, but then again, I'm watching the extended edition, so it probably was cut by now. So yeah, I can't really complain about what I got. So yeah, who could I recommend this movie? If you're a horror fan, it's a must-see. If you're if you're into supernatural things, perhaps it's something you can watch. If you're prepared for shock humor and maybe a few jump scares, you probably could enjoy this movie. Is it for general audiences? Probably not. And now for the big one, the main thing. Is the tagline correct? Is this the scariest movie of all time? Now, I haven't seen all the movies that exist out there, so instead I'm going to ask myself the question. Is this the scariest movie I've seen so far? I don't think so. Off the top of my head, I can't say that it is. But then again, I can't really say what is the scariest movie I've ever seen. Movies rarely scare me. It's like, here's a weird thing about me. The thing that has scared me the most, usually, are books. Usually audiobooks, but books, really. You know, when I read Misery, that kind of freaked me out. And when I listened to a few strange books, it kind of, I don't know why, it kind of just left an impact on me. So yeah, I guess maybe it's my imagination that just hit haywire. Wire started making me, because remember, the worst kind of imagery is that you can make with your own mind. Your mind is a scary place. I'm not saying that horror movies can't give you great imagery to scare you with, but really, your own mind can make up the most horrific things. Now, I would actually argue this. The best kind of kill would be if you never saw the murder and you never saw the body. That leaves it up to the imagination. All you need is one look on a person's face finding the body. That's all you need. Your imagination can go wild. Don't get me wrong, I love movies, but in terms of scare you, I feel almost like there isn't really anything that can really scare me on screen right now. There's certain things that can make me jump, sure. You know, jump scares, they hit, they hurt. I hate jump scares really because they're startling, they hurt really because they come out of nowhere, but they're not really scary as much as they go like that. But you get over it. It's not something that lingers with you. That's the thing. Proper build up, proper in. I'm rambling a bit here, but essentially what I wanted to say is that The Exorcist, I don't really think it would be considered the scariest movie of all time. Is it a good movie? I would say so. But here's the thing. After watching these three movies today slash slash the next day, because I had to watch the rest of it throughout well, the 1st of November. The question is, so of all the 3 movies I saw so far, the one I got the most of in terms of enjoyment was Sweeney Todd, and the one I got the least enjoyment out of was I don't really probably The Exorcist. It's a movie that I feel like I could live with having seen it once. Like I said, it's a must-watch for horror fans, but I'm not saying it's something you should watch religiously. It's something that you should at least watch once. If you're a horror fan, you have to watch it once. It's like there's certain movies that you are required to see if you consider yourself a horror fan. The Exorcist is one. Number two would be John Carpenter's The Thing. And number 3, Psycho. You have to see that. So those 3, those are the ones I consider to be must-see horror movies. That is The Exorcist, Psycho, and The Exorcist, Psycho, and John Carpenter's The Thing. Why? Because they're all built on The Exorcist is considered one of the scariest movies of all time. Poltergeist! Dumbass. The fact is I haven't seen Poltergeist yet, but that's also one that has been considered one of the big ones. Well, now I know what to get for next year's Halloween. So, you can expect that. But yeah, Halloween has come and gone. I'll probably come back for a new movie review for 2 things. 1, Friday the 13th this November. I'm probably gonna try to watch Friday the 13th and give my thoughts on it there. And then once the 16th of December rolls around, it's time to take a roll into a galaxy far, far away.